Hello, you are watching On the Move with Lady Kate, brought to you by Afro USA TV. And keyword of 2020 is collaboration. I am so honored to have my guest with me today because we are building on the word collaboration, keyword for success 2020. What an honor to have with us a very honorable lady from Liberia, Councillor Yvette. We also have Mr. Martin and Mr. Pierre, who are executive members of Voices of Children Foundation. So here with me, it's all about collaboration. I'll let each one introduce themselves and, we'll take it from there. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Yvette Chesson-Wara. I'm the establishment coordinator of the Angie Brooks International Center for Women's Empowerment, Leadership Development, International Peace and Security out of Monrovia, Liberia.
Welcome, welcome. And we're glad to have you here all the way from Liberia, and you're doing some great work out there, which of course we'll be sharing. And Mr. Pierre?
Well, my name is Kenneth Pierre. I'm the founder, CEO of Voices of Children Foundation. And we just want to let everybody know that Voices of Children Foundation is up and running. Mm-hmm. We already have our 501c3, which is the most important thing that everybody is looking for before they can even come closer to your organization. Voices of Children is founded with one thing in mind: empowering the youth.
That's wonderful.
We're not only going to start helping the children in America, but we're going to extend it to Africa and any other part of the world that we'll be able to help the children.
Okay, that's very good. Welcome. And
Martin Wuno, and I was made Vice President of Voices of Children Foundation. Mr. Pierre tapped into my expertise for having worked with the United Nations Development Agency and Ford Foundation for sustainable economic growth in African countries. And I accepted to join the Voices of Children Foundation as one of the executives because children are the core of our future, and there's so much destitute in the world as a result of economic and political violence and many other issues confronting us, like climate, war, and we need the children to be heard. It is peculiar for me to want to be part of this movement and to collaborate with women organizations around the world, US and especially Africa, who are there as first defenders of children.
that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah. So Voices of Children Foundation is based here in the United States. Can you tell us a little bit, where is it located and what kind of projects are you involved in?
Voices of Children Foundation, our office is located in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the address is 541 East Patapsco Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Voices of Children Foundation has 4 core areas. And when I look at the whole thing, the way the world functions, you can't escape one with the other. Just like Ms. Yvette talked about the women empowerment, Mr. Martin talked about children empowerment. Voices of Children Foundation, the name speaks for itself. A lot of us, people like myself, we all grew up in marginalized communities.
That's right.
And when I look at it, I said, no, I don't want this kid to grow up the way I grew up, the way some of us grew up. We can make an impact in their life. So under education, we can teach them a whole lot of stuff, change their mindset. For the younger generation today, it's like it's all about me. No, it's a group, it's a team. We have healthcare crises all over the world. We have it in Africa, We want to use Voices of Children Foundation to partner with a bunch of pharmaceutical companies that we've been talking to, so we can render medication and other healthcare facilities that can help the people. Talk about the other aspects of foundation is agriculture. I believe that if we can start teaching the younger generation about agriculture, because most of them are drifting away from it,
Right.
the boys and the girls, it's a whole lot they can accomplish. So we have technology, which is our other aspect of the foundation. I want to use that technology aspect, like Yvette was saying. They do have women that are more into agriculture. But from my research, a lot of these women and men that are in the remote area, when they grow their crops, they harvest them, it's difficult for them to bring that into the main city to sell. With cell phone, they can call and make that negotiation, and they have buyers. The buyers can come all the way to the farm and buy the product from them, because some of them don't have transportation, and that's all we're trying to do.
Okay, so I gather 4 different areas. We have education, healthcare, agriculture, and technology. Now, Ms. Yvette, how do you see that collaboration? How do you think, how you guys going to work together? You are women's empowerment, and they're working with children. How do we make that happen?
Well, because we also work with children.
Good.
And the important, I mean, we as women, we are completely holistic. So we have to look at not only ourselves, but children as well as men. We don't want people to think that we exclude men.
Right.
We don't. But the important part, in coming from Liberia, where we have a huge youth population, and we are in the throes right now of development.
Right.
And you cannot develop a country without education. And this seems to be an ongoing problem that we are not addressing adequately in Africa, is dealing with our educational system. One of the things that Angie Brooks is very passionate about is we are trying to see if the government can have, in the government schools, where you have the majority of the youth enroll, that they must have a portion that deals with agriculture, so that people understand that agriculture is not something I do today to feed my family tomorrow and just feed them and maybe give the neighbor something and barter something because I'm selling cassava or plantain or something. It has to become something that we look at as a commercial entity, as a business.
Yep.
And so we have to change the mindset of the women in agriculture. We have to change the mindset of the youth in agriculture, that this is a viable business. Furthermore, what we will do is using our app, which is called Trade at Hand, that we've already developed, have even gone to Google with it, is Trade at Hand, where we use a virtual market. You place whatever, if I have 5 bags of cassava, I'll place it on that marketplace on my phone, in that virtual market, in that app, saying I have 5 bags of cassava to sell at so-and-so location. The transportation union comes on and starts to barter to bring it to your market, wherever your marketplace is. Other people, whoever wants to buy my cassava, is also there trading to give you the best price. So you will decide on the best price, and you will also decide on the best person to transport it.
Right.
You will then have a certain day and time to transport it, so that you are not spending a lot of time away from your marketplace. So all of this will be taught to even children at an early age, so that they can get involved and understand commerce and understand how to upscale this whole matter of commerce and agriculture. So that's how we intend to be involved in it. We have the Chief Swakoko Center in Bong County, Liberia, which is the only center of empowerment for rural women.
Right.
And we're utilizing that now for adult literacy for rural women, but we also are looking at a component that we'll be dealing with for the children, to be sure that they also understand these concepts.
Right. That's wonderful. So, Mr. Wuno, Voices of Children is an international organization. So I understand the foundation wants to help disadvantaged children here in the United States as well as in Africa. How do you plan to, for example, teach children in the United States about agriculture?
the teaching of agriculture to children based on facts and research has been greatly reduced by the simple fact that agrarian agriculture is no more. It is industrialized agriculture today.
Right.
And like we all went to school in Africa where we were taught agriculture in primary school, where there was a day for gardening and all that. We don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Farms in the United States are only inherited. New farms are highly created. And that is the part of employment that is lacking, which we think we can start in the United States by simply educating them that agriculture is a profession. Not teaching engineering agriculture, but actually doing farm agriculture. The challenges in America is different from the challenges in Africa because it is no more an agrarian economy. It is not based on agriculture. So it is more challenging because there are few family farms. The majority of people don't own farms, like in Africa where every family owns a farm. We give them that education and let them understand that it is also a part of employment that they can get in. It is very, very lucrative because there will always be need for food. While you're trying to look for a job, you can be looking for a way of having farms. And rural areas in the United States do have farms that can be sold. There are loans in this country within the Department of Agriculture to start new farms as a profession.
But
So-
I think in Cameroon it's different. Agriculture is still, very it's not even industrialized like it is here.
No.
It's also a very viable business venture area.
That's
Right.
where we're trying to push to. That's my whole idea.
Yeah.
Because 40 years when I came to America, we didn't have African grocery stores. We didn't have African food
Right.
unless somebody brought it to you.
Imported.
But when you look at it today, we can have big cassava farms. We can have cassava plant where we grow the cassava, we process the cassava, we package it, and then we can ship them out.
Right.
Big, huge industry, plantain. I mean, the climate alone in Africa is something that we can't blame ourselves for not producing that much food. Cameroon has a very good vegetation. Cameroon can produce enough food to feed half of
That's
Africa.
right, and Cameroon does feed a lot of other African countries. That's
Yeah.
we are very blessed in
That's
that.
right.
But as technology is moving towards Africa, you all know that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
technology
Big
is
time.
growing, and we're embracing it. As we're moving towards technology, how do you plan to incorporate that with agriculture? Because like she said about the app, getting those products out there to the market is very important.
We have looked at a lot of different areas. In terms of agriculture, our African young boys and girls don't look at it using machinery. They still want to apply the old-fashioned system where you dig,
Right.
you hoe, you plow. But today, we can use machineries. And we have a huge farm, like the CDC. They have rubber, they have palms, they have banana. We can do the same thing with peanut, cassava, whatever we're growing. Now, America have made it so easy where you have watermelon, you have cantaloupe, you have cucumbers, you have all the different vegetables that used to be European vegetables. We can grow them now in Africa.
That's right. And you know, we in Africa we love organic stuff. We don't want all the GM
Yeah.
modified foods and stuff. So does Voices of Children plan to have like vocational training
That is
for the youth?
that was the next
Yeah,
step.
that's
Yeah,
in the works.
Vocational training
Mm-hmm.
because we need to get these children to learn a skill, to
Mhm.
learn a trade.
Right.
It's not only about going to university and thinking when you graduate you're going to get a job with the government. We need to start teaching them so they can think that tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
we can start building infrastructures in the private sector where we can build our
Right.
community.
That's awesome. So what's next for Voices of Children? What's next for the collaboration? What should we be looking out for, and how can people contact you?
We do have a website,
Mm-hmm.
and that website is www.voicesofchildrenfoundation.org.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we want to start putting together a program where we can start doing fundraising.
Right. Fundraisers.
And we're planning to do a fundraising function, you
Mhm.
know, probably by the summer,
Mm-hmm.
where we can get a lot of people to come in, and when we expose the foundation, we're hoping to get donations so we can start doing our first mission.
That's wonderful.
Mr. Martin, the Vice President, I have watched this gentleman put a lot of stuff together,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm proud of him. That's why
good.
when I asked him, I just sat quiet. And he looked at me and said, I join.
Yeah, let me
That's
let,
good.
let me add
Yes,
let me add
please.
Yeah, the purpose of having a fundraiser is not so much a fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
It is to create an awareness of the existence of an association or a foundation that does what we say
Mm-hmm.
it does. Then, just like we're doing right now, we're scouting into projects that we need to, first of all, attack,
Mm-hmm.
write out those projects, and seek financial support for the project.
Mm-hmm.
So, preliminarily, we are going to not only be starting here in the United States, but it's also possible for us to start simultaneously to African countries.
Right.
We're not going to say we want to experiment here to see how we can jump there. We already know the problems in Africa. As a matter of fact, youth unemployment in Africa is above 70% in most cases. And they are there, they don't know what to do, and we need to come and empower them.
Right.
Get them off the streets with the collaboration of the Women Foundation that are there on the spot to take care of their children. So we're going to move at that angle. We're going to look at the different possibilities where we're going to give some machination, not marginalization, but machination
Right.
of circumstances that prevent
Mm-hmm.
the execution of brilliant ideas like this to solve the problems of the continent of youth,
Mm-hmm.
of youth underemployment,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get them to be useful in the society.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so we create an awareness with the first issues we're going to have in town,
Mm-hmm.
and then we move on with the projects.
That's wonderful. So we're looking forward to having a get together to create awareness
Yeah.
Right.
regarding Voices of Children. So
Foundation.
hopefully everybody will come and support. When you hear about it, please come and support, because this is really amazing. What about Miss Yvette? How can people contact you? Because you're doing a lot of work with rural women.
Yeah,
Yes.
they can contact me through our email, liberianwom@gmail.com.
Mhm.
But they can also, we have a website for the Angie Brooks International Center.
Mhm.
Okay, so that website is also ABIC,
Right.
and they can contact through us and look at us there as well. And you also see exciting things from the Women's Situation Room.
Mhm.
This year we're in Ghana, we're in Uganda, so as well. So please, we look forward of you coming on board.
That's wonderful. So we're also looking forward to having you and your organization present in Cameroon.
Yes.
There's a lot of work to be done there with the women and children. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more greatness coming at you. Keyword: collaboration for success. Thank you.